Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1AAuto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
The headlight bulb is very easy to remove. On the driver's side, there's just a red little tab on the connector. You're gonna pull it out. With the red tab pulled out, you can then squeeze the green tab down and pull the connector right out. The bulb itself just twists as if you were gonna turn a screw, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, and you can pull the bulb out just like that. When you're installing the new light, make sure you don't touch the glass because it'll actually prematurely burn out the bulb if you do. So you always want to be very careful with these bulbs that you never touch the glass as you're installing them. Only hold it by the plastic. You can feed it right back into the headlight itself. And you just give it a quarter turn to lock it into place. From there, you plug in the green connector until it snaps into place, and then lock it with the red tab. We need to remove the engine cover, so we'll take out the oil cap, and then the cover can be removed. From there, we'll put the cap back in so that no debris gets in there. The mass airflow sensor will need to be disconnected. You'll have to remove the little yellow lock on there. Ours is a little bit broken. And then you can push down the tab and pull the connector right off. Next, you'll use a flat-tipped screwdriver to loosen the clamp around the intake hose. And then you should be able to disconnect it from the upper part of the intake box. The upper intake has a tab right here and a tab right here. You just grab them with your thumb and your fingers and pop them loose like that. And then you should be able to slide the whole upper box right out of the car. There's a 10mm right here and a 10mm right here that you'll need to remove so that we can get this lower intake box out of the way and access the parking light. With the two 10mm nuts removed, you should be able to pop the whole lower intake box right out of the vehicle. With the air box out of the way, you can access the bulb for the directional. It has a tab on the bottom that you'll need to lift up before you pull the connector out. You can see the tab right here. Then you just need to turn the socket a quarter turn and release it from the housing. This bulb is it's called a 3457 AK. Just means it's an orange bulb and it's a directional. And it pops right out of the socket just by pulling it. To put it back in, all you do is push it straight down into the socket. And then you can push it into the housing, make sure all the tabs are lined up and it's nice and flush. And then you give it a quarter turn to lock it into place. With it locked into place, you can take the connector and push it right back onto the housing until it snaps in. The air box slides right back into its home where it was. You'll need to get this cone section right between the washer bottle and the AC line, and then make sure these slide over the two 10mm studs. We'll put both 10mm nuts onto the studs and tighten them down. If you haven't changed your air filter in a while, it might be a good time to change your air filter since it's already all apart and out of the vehicle. And from there, you'll reattach the upper intake box. On the back side of it, there's 3 notches where you'll slide it into place. Once the notches are into place, you can push down on the upper intake box and these tabs will lock in. On this side, there's a rubber hose that you'll want to reconnect to the upper intake. As you can see, it has a tab on it where it lines up, and you'll tighten it down with a flat-tipped screwdriver. Finally, you can reconnect your mass airflow sensor by putting the connector into the mass airflow sensor itself and locking the connector down. To make your engine look nice again, you'll want to put this cover over the intake, which means you're taking your oil cap right back off again. And you slide the intake backwards, make sure it's over the hole properly and put the oil cap right back into place. The passenger headlight is easy to replace. You can reach down from the top and pull the red tab out of the connector. Once the red tab is pushed down, you can remove the green connector. Headlight bulb just turns a quarter turn to remove it from the headlight assembly. And putting it back in, you definitely don't want to touch the glass itself. If you touch the glass itself, it will burn out prematurely. So you always want to be really, really careful that you don't touch the glass when you're installing a headlight bulb. Putting it in the housing is as simple as it was taking it out. You place it in until it feels like it's locked into the tabs, and then you give it a quarter turn. Now it's in the housing. From there, you take the green connector and plug it right into the bulb. And then lastly, you lock in the connector with the red tab. The passenger side parking light and directional is a little bit hidden behind this harness, so you gotta push the harness out of the way. And then there's a tab on the bottom that you pull up when you're removing the connector, as you can see. To get the bulb out, you'll just turn it a quarter turn, and then you can pull it straight out. The bulb itself is a 3457 AK, which is a really common bulb, and it can be found just about anywhere. And again, it just pulls straight out. There's no trickery to it. Putting the new one in is as easy as snapping it into place. And then you'll just want to line up the 3 little prongs on the housing before you slide it in. And then you'll give it the quarter turn to tighten it into place. Now it's solid. And lastly, you can put the connector right back on until it snaps into place.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.